Good evening, everyone. You know what's so funny is I type in the title of this thing and I just press play and then I'm like, oh, I'm on. It's live. We're here. It's not any other time but now. So, my name's Elizabeth Maria Caraballo. I have a website, elizabethmariacaraballo.com. I have a Facebook page, Elizabeth Maria Collections. You can check out my jewelry and some of my journals and all that good jazz there. Thank you so much for joining me right now. Today is Thursday, January 26th. I can't believe it's almost done, the month. It's insane. So I'm going to pull a card for you guys like I do every day. And I have been doing readings since Monday for the 20-minute free readings. I gave about 30 plus readings away. And to this point, I've done 17. Considering that I've never done readings for other people, I am astounded. I am absolutely astounded how much I can do, how well they've gone, the love, the confirmation, the release, the next logical step. So many things I've been privileged to witness and just privileged. It's been really, really bizarre. I mean, not bizarre as in, it was, I don't know, it's humbling, it's amazing, it's like miraculous, it's charging, it's really putting me in a whole new place as far as what I do, what I love, my skill set, and I'm just super excited. I feel confirmed that I have an ability to help people in this way, and that my heart is pure enough that I can reflect love in all situations, and that I'm humble enough that I'm ready to learn more. It's really awesome. All right, so if you haven't received a link, or if your link isn't working, or if you haven't scheduled yet, get those schedulings in. If you're in somewhere, if you're across, the pond, whether it's the Atlantic or the Pacific, give me a little jingle or send me a little Facebook message, because my scheduler isn't really converting the times well, so it gets a little hairy. So I might just have to do that for you personally, and I'm happy to do it. It's not a big deal. All right, so may I be a hollow bone? May I be able to share whatever medicine we're given with the utmost of respect to my friends, these cards, the source within us all, and myself. And may there just be a little bit of joy and possibly a quick little chuckle. Gotta ask for the chuckle. Okay, here we go. This one is popped up. Oh, we got the swan again. So because we got the swan again, I'm going to go ahead and pull another card as a clarifying element to see if there's a deeper element we could go. So the swan is grace, and that is the story of the swan that was looking for the future. She was flying around as a little duckling, and she decided to take a rest in the Dreamtime Pond. Oh, we got possum. You know what that means. You're like, no, Liz, I don't know what that means. I'll just pull one more out and we'll round it out with 3. And so anyways, when the possum stopped at this Dreamtime Pond, she looked up over Sacred Mountain. She saw a big swirling black mass over the top, just in the sky. Dragonfly flew by and she was like, hey, Dragonfly, what's up with that big swirling mass? And the Dragonfly's like, oh, well, that's basically the gateway to the illusion, and that's what I guard. She's like, oh. He's like, well, if you want to go in there, you have to earn the right. Thank you, Moj. Moj says she loves my stories. She said, well, you have to earn the right. And the swan's like, well, what do I have to do? Good question. And the dragonfly's like, well, if you go in there, you have to promise that you'll accept whatever you see or whatever you're given, and you won't try to change it. And so the swan says, I promise that I will surrender to the flow. I won't try to change anything, and I won't change the future of it. I will just follow what I'm given. And the dragonfly's like, wow, that's a great answer. Go right ahead. So then the lake that she's in turns into like this whirlpool and she gets swallowed up by it, which to me is absolutely terrifying. And she comes back a few days later and she's like gorgeous. She's big, she's robust, she's white, she's elegant. And Lizard's like, what happened to you, Swan? And Swan was like, I completely surrendered. I went with whatever I was given. I didn't try to change anything. And I was shown amazing things. And so they spent the next couple days just talking about the beautiful visions that Swan was able to see. The medicine in this is grace. And, you know, we all know that prayer where you're like, grant me the ability to accept what I can't change and change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just that ability to just accept what's happening. And it's strength. It's not just wisdom. I mean, that's not easy. And especially for us in our westernized culture that is so ready order. You can have your sandwich the way you want it. You have your car the way you want it. You can make your body the way you want it. You can order a bride the way you want it. Like anything can be done the way you want it. The challenge and the truth is that your desire is limited by you, by your finite, tiny human experience. You could have traveled all around the world, spent gobs of money and met 1 million people, and you still wouldn't have the scope of possibility that is laid before you when you decide to follow spirit, when you decide to follow the path of what is greater, that implicate intelligence that we all are a part of, the implicit, the implicate, however you want to call it. That is true wisdom, and there's something there way beyond what you can ever imagine. That truly means exactly what I've said, and I will tell you, it is the truth. Since I have completely surrendered my desire and just followed the plan, I have been blown away by what has transformed in my life and how I feel differently in the inside. I have a sense of self-satisfaction and fortitude that I've never known. I feel very satisfied. There's no craving, there's no desire, there's just this feeling of just, oh, that was lovely. Even like this afternoon when I'm changing a tire on my car and it's not coming off, I just felt like next step, next step, next step. And it worked out. Like I got my tire changed, they popped it on, I got it out, I got to the store, I was like, boop, 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 boop. I walked into TJ Maxx, I found the perfect sheets that were super cheap. I mean, like, when you follow what is before you and you surrender to the flow and you're willing to accept and you do your best by accepting, that doesn't mean you fight or complain or you try to subvert. That just means you follow it and you work on your own attitude in the meantime. So I had to work on my attitude. I called a friend and I was like, I'm pissed off. I'm really angry right now. I don't want to do this. I have too much of this. I'm not getting enough of this. I was pissy. And she was like, good. Way to acknowledge that. Now you can just accept where you are and dedicate portions of your day to certain things and remember the blessings that you're on and what you're doing. I mean, this 17 readings in 4 days I feel like my skin looks better. I didn't know it would be that way, but I just did it and I have been transformed and I feel alive. Okay, so that's the first card. The second card was Possum. And I have not done this card in a long time, but this card is exactly what Possum does. It says to play dead. This is a strategic move of defense and intelligence by the possum. It is diversion. So when the possum gets freaked out, it just goes, and it looks like it's dead. I mean, it really looks like it's dead. And sometimes whatever predator is after it immediately loses disinterest because part of the predatorial in some breeds is really just about the fight, the hunger, and they don't necessarily eat what is already dead. So that works for them, especially in like a survival situation. I've seen possums that are like burrowed in a house that when they're trying to get the possums out, they literally go dead, and people think that they're dead because they play it so well, and they will do it for a long time until they really perceive there is no danger. So once they're like, they take them out, they're like, we just don't know, they're not going through all the loops. They just take them out to the forest or whatever kind of nature they're going to release them in. And they let out the trap and they just stand back. And sure enough, they pop up, shake it off, and boom, they're out. So they've averted their trauma in a way. But when you get this card, or when we get this card, we're asked to use strategy. Strategy is really essential to growth and to this element of grace. So like today, I had to employ strategy. I was like, okay, so this is a have to. I can't not do this. So my strategy was based on the fact that I want to feel good first. So before I attacked that tire, before I changed my clothes, I talked to a friend. A friend that I knew would not let me off the hook and coddle my bitchiness. A friend that was like, okay, thank you for being real. Now what? Don't get to stay there. We get a little bit of a bounce from that anger energy, but you don't stay there because it will ultimately weigh you down and it will muck up things very easily. So strategy is, for me, was doing that, getting lined up, just kind of planning, making simple little moves. Like I called one place to make sure they had my tires so I didn't show up and get all frustrated. Worked with this guy. He found me a tire at a great price, And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go out there. I got clothes that I wouldn't worry about. See, I'm just thinking about lots of little things to create more ease. It's strategy. That's just strategy. It's not common sense. It's actually strategy. Because some people would just go straight out there and get it done. But if you're already angry and you're not ready for it, you're just going to get frustrated and things won't work. And you know what? That tire was stubborn. It really actually didn't work. But I stopped and I called the tire experts. I was like, what's up? Is there a trick? He's like, no, you just got to smack it a little bit. And his certainty gave me a little chance to feel certain. So when I attacked it with the crowbar, I got the results I wanted. But I didn't just go at it and hack away because I was going to be stubborn and I wasn't going to let that tire get the best of me. I stood back. I played dead for a minute like I couldn't do it. And I employed a little bit of strategy. Okay, who would know better? Who does this all the time? Who's really good at this? Who can give me some advice that would want to give me advice? How about the guy that's selling me the tire and waiting for me to pick it up? He's going to want me to get that tire off. That was a little bit of strategy. Strategy is everything, and it's available to you in any dilemma that you're in. And sometimes playing dead, pulling back, and letting shit ride for a minute is a brilliant strategy because it does a couple things. First of all, it allows you to pull back that negative energy that's just like clamping down. And when you have that clamping down energy, there's no room for grace. There's no room for miracles, and there's no room for creative thinking. It's just, you're just trying to bear down and get it all. So playing dead gives you a space. It gives you some emotional space. It gives you some control where you feel a little bit better because you're like, I took control in a situation where you might not feel like you had control. And then you make it a little easier. You kind of prepave your way. By me setting up all these little things to make this moment of getting the tire done, I was basically affirming a result and rehearsing it in my mind to do a thing. Yes, I did pull possum. I did. That was the second card. So the first card was grace. And that's like, I'll go through whatever you've got for me. Talking to the Great Spirit. I won't try to change things. I'll accept what you're giving me and I'll move through it. And I'll trust. That's grace. Then the next part was possum. So you have that strategy of sometimes just playing dead. Letting stuff ride for a second, getting your ducks in a row, and then attacking the situation. And then the last card, which I think is interesting, I've never had this combination before. Before I go to the last card, I want to make sure, so that's part of it. That's exactly the whole thing is strategy. And then the last card is Lizard. This card is about dreaming, not sleeping, but actually dreaming, and to pay attention to your dreams. And what I think this means is once you take the stance of grace and you're saying, I'm going to accept whatever comes before me, you literally put yourself in a place where you're going to have things that might be a little bit bigger than you, a little bit more intense. That's okay. You can employ strategy. You can play dead for a second. You can take a seat back and, get your ducks in a row before you attack the issue. Okay? And then dreams. This card, whatever it pops up, means pay attention to your dreams. Many people feel like they don't dream. We absolutely all always dream. It's necessary. If you are a person that does not allow yourselves a full hour, 4 hours of sleep in your normal nighttime or however you sleep patterns, you have a better chance of not really remembering it and maybe not getting a full kind of download is what it is. It's just your body being able to digest emotional things in a beautiful symbolic code that's unique to you. But you will dream and you do dream. Some people dream really well when they nap and they remember it versus like during the nighttime. But one of the differences I've noticed between nighttime naps and daytime naps is nighttime naps go deep in the rabbit hole. And there might be a lot of information in this kind of a dream that will make these two things easier. That will kind of say, this is basically where we're pointing. So you're going to need to use these two. You're going to have to do some accepting. You're going to have to kind of play dead every once in a while and get your strategy in order before you attack the issue. And this is going to do a little bit to digest some of that stuff, to help you sort out the past of some of your emotions and give you an idea of where you really stand with this issue now. I would tell you this. Everybody has their own method in kind of deciphering a dream. The way I decipher dreams is very individual. I use contextual clues, just like when you read a book. I use archetypes and symbols that mean something to everybody that's pretty general, which is kind of Carl Jungian of me. But I also use emotional personal history. So my history with snow might be different than your history with snow. My history with, let's say, spicy food might be different than your history. And my history gives me an emotional coloring to that element. So when spicy foods shows up in my dream, it matters if it showed up when I was a kid and I'm a child in the dream. It matters if spicy food shows up and I'm an adult in the dream, because I have two different emotional references in myself to what spicy is. When I was a kid, I didn't like it. It was painful to me. I didn't understand it. As a young adult, I tried it a lot and I just couldn't eat it and I was disappointed in myself. As an older adult, I enjoy many spicy foods. I can't go super spicy, but I'm hopeful that I'll be able to get to do spicy and I'm not disappointed in myself. 3 different times, 3 different emotions, same issue, but when it shows up into my dream, I'm going to take note of all these things. So dream interpretation is a very personal thing. I don't believe you could just flip open a book and figure it out. You could start getting clues, but the deeper meaning lies within how you feel, what is happening, how old you are, and how you can layer all that stuff. It becomes like this sandwich. So grace, accepting where we are, playing dead, having a little strategy, pulling back from some of the issues, getting a chance to get our feet under us for a second, maybe calling in for some help, setting up a system so that you can handle whatever's going on better before you engage, and then having a little digestion in your dream and paying attention to that and see what it has to offer you and see if it's not an advancement in understanding or maybe a release of something old that you don't have to worry about anymore, or maybe an idea or an inspiration for how to do it better next time, or another way to perceive it. This is a pretty interesting spread because right now a lot of us need the grace to just accept where we are. And a lot of us are really tired and some of us are playing dead with our personal issues right now or how we're perceiving things. And now is the time to not just play dead, but to start engaging a sense of strategy. To pull back, call in for help, set things in order so that we can attack it and it'll flow easily because we've set it up that way. And then taking the time to listen to our dreams so that we get a better, broader understanding of how it's really affecting us. And if there's something more that we can learn from it. And then moving forward, if we can shapeshift a little bit for ourselves, you know? Maybe there's something we will do better next time. Maybe we'll find a deeper angle because we heard something really interesting in our dreams, or someone popped up that reminded us of a little bit of a tone to something. You know how some people, you see them, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot that you're really good at popping those tires off. And they pops in our dreams. That's kind of a confirmation for me to go, I did a good job. They would have been so proud of me, right? So it just allow those dreams to come in and help you digest a little bit more. And it'll give you a great opportunity to continue to ask some questions. Moj says, you know where I am. Moj had a reading and they were like, listen to those dreams. Absolutely. Absolutely. And she has a little bit of strategy in her system too that she's going to employ as she moves forward into her 2017 and the next level of her business. Hey, Monique. Hi. I want to know if it's Lai or Lee. I love your name though. So just a quick recap before I pop off here. I have a phone call in just a bit. So we got the swan for grace, to accept where we are, just to be calm about it, to love and encourage this place in ourselves, and to be like, I can do this. You're just following what's going. And it's very rewarding. It is very rewarding. And then we got the possum, that sometimes when we have to implore grace, that means we're going through some stuff that we might not have chosen, but we're going to do it anyways because that's what we're directed. We know what there's a gift in there for us, like the swan became a beautiful bird. But sometimes we got to play dead real quick. We got to pull back. We got to strategize. Got to call in our team. Maybe set some stuff in order so that when we go to attack that issue, it just goes like today. Tire was done in 10 minutes. And then afterwards, pay attention to your dreams. So tonight, I'm going to really try to pay attention to my dreams. I'm actually going to write a little note on my pillow. Not on my pillow. I'm going to write a note and put it under my pillow and say, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be really keenly aware of what happened in my dreams and see if there wasn't a message for me. I know today I dealt with little anger and frustration at my plate being so full and having so much coming up. But I did stop and I pulled back. I got my team. I did a little strategy. I called people in. And so tonight I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen to see if there's something more for me to learn, because I'm willing. I'm so willing to get that next juicy piece of information, because I know it's just going to add. Because this is just the beginning. It's always just the beginning. There's so much more to do. Tomorrow's a new day, and there'll be another tomorrow. So I am completely open to whatever spirit wants to talk to me or my soul wants to talk to me about maybe how I digest it or to do it better tomorrow, or to prepare me for the next time I have to have some grace. Yeah, absolutely, Monique. Willingness. Willingness is key, because it removes a lot of that restriction that happens when we start to fight and assert our own way. If you've chosen a path in life where you're going to listen and follow the divine, your God, whatever you want to call it, and source, because you feel like that intelligence is going to go further and be more delicious than your own personal guidance, which is my case, I got to be willing. And that means during the moment, before the moment, and after the moment. So today I'm just going to be open, as like right now, I have a quick call, and then I'm going to spend the next couple hours making jewelry. And I think I'm just going to put myself in a beautiful place of contentment and joy so that I can allow some of that more messaging in and set myself up for a beautiful night's sleep. I brought new sheets. We're going to have a nice dreaming time. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be more aware of what happened in my dream. It's completely possible. And these are the tools that we're given. There's nothing in here that's unique to me or you or you or you. This is so universal. This is so everyday, easy stuff. You don't have to be a PhD or a shaman or anything special to do this stuff. This is everybody's stuff. That's why I love these cards. They're general, they're gentle, they're loving, and they're totally attainable. Just like real life, it's totally attainable. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And if you haven't scheduled your reading, get it in. Get it in because it's only available for these 30 days. So chap chap. And if you're far away, like UK or South Africa or some of these beautiful Denmark, some of these great places, send me a quick little email or message because my messenger is planning stuff for like 1:30 in the morning. Good. Join me in those dreams tonight, Moj. That'd be so cool if we actually saw each other tonight. Be like, high five. You're so welcome, Monique. You guys have a beautiful night. Mwah. Bye.